Okay, so our next part comes in when we are on an attack or event node.
Which will be... Oh, you should rest. Is that connected? No, damn.
No. So, let's see. Well, if we go up this way, we'll have to do some attack. Yeah, these three attacks when we come around the out and around and do a couple events and rest and visit a city. So,
A couple events.
all right. Well, draw the card then.
Wasteland. Stretch ahead was rugged. Was a rugged, sandy wasteland of debris and jagged stone. Players choose an action as a group. Action 1, tough it out like we're Westerners, take 3 damage. Owie. Or action 2, roll to find an easier path through the terrain. At any time you may choose to do action 1 instead of continuing to roll. 1, you need to roll 1. You happen upon a secret stash of stolen goods, and draw a random item. 2 to 3, you find an easy path through. 4, 5, and 6, you search for quite some time but discover nothing. Negative 2 energy points to all players. What do you want to do?
Pick something.
Roll for it.
Okay, roll.
Negative 2 energy points. I meant 1.
So you're just out, basically.
Ah, system completed. Try it again.
Okay.
2. We find an easy path through. Very goody goody.
So we'll go to Llama Sips Up. No idea. Llama Sips Up. Sure, the name is dumb as heck. You ain't gonna forget it. A trickling stream that seems to attract a fair amount of llamas, and occasionally some of those wretched alpacas. Players must choose an action as a group, so we can ride a llama, which is mounting a llama, and ride to any destination, place the character piece on any map node, and immediately resolve it. Rest, show the llama some respect, and leave them be. You may now treat this node as a rest node, including gaining the appropriate health and energy that you may do at a rest node related activity.
Rest.
Rest. Two back. Okay, so I guess we're going to do another event then.
Highway robbery. While the bushes behind cacti, a group of thugs step out and block the path ahead, demanding to see your goods. You can only hope they are trying to rob you. Okay, we choose as a group. We fight them. We duel bandits, or we give up the goods. Let's discard 3 item cards if they don't. Or as many as they can if they do not have 3. So let's have her fighting. Gives an additional 3 hit points and energy points per player to their normal hit points and energy points. Apply the hoarding creature modifier card. You gain an extra level if they're defeated.
We're giving them 6 more health and energy onto what they're already going to have. Because we can't give up our goods. We don't have any goods, so we're fighting them.
2 per player. Yep.
3. Well, as many as you can. Each player must discard 3 item cards or as many They can if they do not have 3 item cards.
Fight him.
We're gonna fight them, for better or for worse. We're gonna fight them. So they start out with.
This is bad, isn't it?
Well, they start out with 9 health. And we have to give them 6 more health. So that's a starting health of 15 and 14 energy. 15, 14 energy. And let's see. So there's the deck. One modifier. Hoarding. Players roll as a group and draw that many items times 2 from the item deck if they defeat this creature.
Yeah.
So that will be very awesome when we beat him. So let's see if we can't do a lot of damage to him.
We're going for damage? Alright, we're going for damage. Try lightning.
I was going to do lightning as well.
Down to 10.
So 1 card now. Yep, all foes lose 4 energy. Any unresolved cards foes may have will gain +1 to the value of their effects. So lose 4 energy.
Complete it.
3. So I'm doing 3, but it's a +1, so it's actually 4, and 4 is 8.
Yeah.
So he'll be down to 7. But he also gains 4 energy, so it's 18 energy that they have.
Fire.
He's only going to have 1 active, so the only way that really works, if you low on something,
Completely done for in energy.
well, I'd play water, then that way you gain some energy.
Good idea.
I mean, if you only have 1 active card, it has to be like a 10 for that to work. Like wind wouldn't be a very good idea right away either. So. I'll play water. So we'll see what they do. Okay, so this is 6. Roll to determine how much damage will be done to all foes. You better roll, because I rolled pretty high, you've been rolling pretty low. Until now!
Until now!
Until now, you had to roll a 6.
Down to 2.
Down to 4 from that. Alright, so you played water, I played water, so that's 4 damage. So he's down to 3 health now, so that's a plus. Also gained 2 energy. I'm gonna play Earth.
Yeah, same here.
And we'll see what they do. This creature gains 4 health. So now it's back up to 7 health.
And knock it right back down to where it was, though.
Yeah, target takes those 4 damage. It's down to 3, but I also gain health.
Ice?
Yeah, I think ice would be a good idea to play. At this point, we'll see what they do. Frenzy. With an impressive burst of energy, they came at us and they meant harm. All foes take 5 damage. Any foe may pay 3 energy to dodge this attack and avoid taking damage.
Yay.
You're not going to make it, are you?
Nope.
No, I can take 2 energy off of that, so I only take 3 damage, so I'm down to 3 health. I'll be doing 2 damage to it, knocking it down to 1 health, and making it lose 2 energy down to 16.
Stay alive. Stay alive.
I'm gonna play fire this time. Fire. Oh, hide. Somehow they managed to duck out of our view for a few minutes, so let's see. Well, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna try and roll 1, 2, or 3. Got it! So I found him, and I can resolve any cards. 2 damage, kills the bandits. Alright, so if defeated, players draw the Human Ritual Heart item from the item deck, and gain 1 level and 1 random item from the deck.
You gain an extra level for that hoarding, right?
And I gotta roll as a group. So I gotta roll again and then draw that many items. Times 2. Whatever you roll times 2 from the item deck if they defeat the creature. So,
Yes, correct. Or the heart.
What? It's the Human Heart Ritual item card. So I'm gonna roll, see what I get. Oh my gosh, I rolled a 6. That's times
12.
2, that's 12. 12 items from the item deck. Holy crap. Holy crap. Alright, so couldn't get any luckier than that. Holy crap.
Now, do I lose my level then for dying or
No.
Okay.
They don't go over. Alright, so that's the Human Heart. 1 level and draw 1 random item. Okay. Discarded artifact. Throw at target for 1 damage, and if this item is traded, it counts as 2 cards. So that's kind of weird, but alright. So now I get to draw 12 items from the item deck.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Holy crap. Lucky Charm is a distraction type card. Mana Worm, get energy. Energy Well, play with any spell that spell's energy cost will be 0. Another Mana Worm. Use bandages. You can heal 1 to self or 1 to a teammate. Another discarded artifact. Another Mana Worm. Revive Juju. If your health is reaches 0, you must play this card and gain 1 health, then discard the card. So that's pretty handy. Flask of Whiskey. -1 damage from all sources. Sorcerer's Sidearm. Choose 1, so you get 1 damage or -2 energy to target. Deactivate on use. Another discarded artifact and then some more used bandages.
Wow.
Suddenly, we got a big haul for them.
Right.
The joke's on them. Holy crap. Oh, man. Those are all the bandits. Really good modifier that time. Oh, I don't even know how to make my deck now. Crap. Let's see. Well, I have to put that in my hand. I need my spells. That's what I'm going to attack with. Keep that. stash. Yes, a resting place, thank God. 2 and 2. One more event.
Meteor shower. Sparkling clear meteors begin smashing against the ground all around you. Perhaps a heavenly gift or some sinister scourge. Roll to determine what effects the meteors will have on all players. A 1 is plus 3 energy points. A 2 is plus 2 hit points. A 3 is draw all remaining hex fragments from the item deck. 4 is negative 2 hit points. 5 is negative 3 energy points. And 6 is a plus 1 level.
And roll. Nice! Plus 1
Heck
level.
yeah! Draw a signature spell of your choosing.
Signature spell.
Of my choosing.
Yep. So we got a new spell coming in. That would be fantastic. Alright, so now while we're on the attacker event node, the story continues. The day waxes on and you decide to settle down for the night. As you glance over at your anima, you notice it looks much dirtier than usual. You call it over and begin cleaning out sand and goop from its crevices. Master, may anima speak freely and initiate informal speech protocol? It probes, breaking the silence. You reluctantly agree, assuming it's going to be some sort of annoying robot joke. Before you and I were linked, I was alone. When Icarus first created the animas, he powered us on without optics or movement. It was darkness, ages of darkness. All of my protocols to think, to bind myself to a master, to protect, to desire freedom. They were all functional, and so we animas sat in solitude, hoping to one day see to be free to be linked. I don't really know how the other animas felt, but I felt alone. Alone in the dark, useless and unable to fill my protocols. There were many tries to initiate self-destruct, but circumstances did not meet the required parameters. You feel somewhat taken aback by the anima's thoughts. Then one day my optics turned on and my movement restrictions lifted, and I felt something. It was you, Master. That was the day Icarus linked us together. The animus display lights up with a smile. Will you promise me something, Master? You nod. Don't die out here. Don't send me back to the darkness. I don't want to be alone again. You be sure your anima that everything will be okay. Thank you, Master. Anima goes to sleep now. Anima thanks Master for sprucing. The machine emits various beeps and bloops before shifting into standby mode for the night. All players return to max energy.
I was defeated.
So now we have to travel to the King's Altar Map node, and which is the next spot we go to.
Oh, I got two really good ones here. Which one shall I do? Did you roll for your meteor shower?
Not. Well, on all players. So what you roll affects everybody.
Oh.
So I get the same deal.
Oh, so I...
Whatever. So, duck this here.
That's what I'm thinking. Bloodlust. Any damage done to you this turn, even if it's blocked or negated, will be added to the next card you play that does damage.
Ooh. Surprised you didn't take Transmute. This phase, all incoming damage will instead give you the same amount of your choice of health or energy. Magnify is kind of nice, just a +1. the heck? I'm surprised you didn't take the Zolt either. You're immune to damage this phase. You may also apply this effect to any number of teammates. Increase the energy cost by 1 for each teammate.
Oh.
Of course, you can't take dark or light. Those are separate things. Here's target takes 2 damage, can't be blocked, reduced, or negated in any way, ignores any type of immunity. You sure you went through these cards?
Quickly.
Redirect. Is this phase you can choose the target of any unresolved card with a single target. Barrier. Reduce all damage by 3 for the rest of the turn. Hush. This phase, any unresolved card will be immediately deactivated except this card. Rejuvenate. Choose 1. 4 energy for self or 2 to team. Siphon. You draw one of the cards and choose to steal that amount of health or energy. You cannot steal more than the target has. Siphon. Resurrect can only be and must be played when your health reaches 0. Exchange the amount of your remaining energy for health. That's pretty good.
Actually, that's really good.
Pandora's. Draw a random signature spell from the deck and immediately resolve it. The spell will also receive +1 to the number value of the effect. Return the spell to the deck afterward, and it's a 1. So that will be played immediately. Some of these are just self, some 4, 5s, 8s.
I think self 4 is the
Mana burn,
level
target
5.
is 3 energy. Paralyzed. Target must immediately discard any unresolved cards they played this phase. And that's a 4. Foresight.
How much energy is it taking to use some of this?
All these are like 1s and 2s, so it's not too terrible, but when you only have 10, it goes pretty quick. Foresight, pass or choose new cards, pay the energy cost of a new card and choose a new target card if necessary. That's a 1. Unleash, discard your active element spells, apply their effect except for damage. You will also be immune to all effects for the rest of this turn. There's a lot of good ones here. Okay, so you got Spectre, can only be played at the end of your Aftermath phase. If your health reaches 0, gain 4 health. You must inflict 3 damage to a foe during the next turn, or you'll return to 0.
Huh.
That's a self. 2 energy, obviously, because it turns you into a Spectre. Amnesia, target must randomly discard 3 active cards. Equilibrium, choose an unresolved spell played this phase, resolve all unresolved spells and this card if they were the chosen spell. It's a 3 and it costs 0. Any card that does damage or reduces health will instead increase health by the same amount. Any card that gives HP will instead take it away as damage. It is Evert.
Take a break. Oh, maybe. Go ahead. Pull that out the door. No.
Immolate. Roll and deal with the amount of damage to all foes. You'll also take that damage -2, so that's kind of a... Alright, so I'll pick my spell and then read on, and then hopefully we'll be back with it. These spells are really good. I'm going to take Transmute. This phase, all incoming damage will instead give you the same amount in your choice of health or energy. shuffle there. Anyway, let's see. Let's this once we make it there. You notice a group of cloaked individuals on horseback following you. Your natural instincts to not trust cloaked stalkers is telling you to not trust these cloaked stalkers. You suspect something is afoot. They manage to catch up and hail you. Wonder, what business have you in these parts of the valley? Your anima chimes in before you decide if you should humor them with a response. Master seeks an audience with the Witch King. Master serves the great and powerful Iron Witch. You let go of a sigh of frustration as the cloaked beings dismounted their horses. You're unable to catch a glimpse into the dark of their hoods. They appear to have white skulls painted over their faces. A short, goblinoid-looking one speaks, "Neither the Iron Witch nor his servants are welcome here. In the name of the great powerful masterful, wonderful, magnificent, majestic, incredible, marvelous, fantastic, awesome, and quite large King of the Witches, you shall not live to disgrace him with your presence." They throw off their cloaks and run toward you. Look like it's time for a good old-fashioned beatdown. So for an action, players must immediately fight bandits. Mix the Spectre skill cards in with the bandit skill cards. Do not use the general creature skill cards or modifiers. The first time the creature's health or energy reaches 0, it will immediately return to max health and energy at the end of that turn. And you must also return all of their skill cards that were discarded and deactivated to their hand. If players die, the game is over and they have failed. If you succeed, you may continue on to the next part, but do not gain any levels or rewards listed on the back of the bandit's creature card. Yeah,
Sounds
so
fun.
we had some goblinoid little creatures that showed up. Our anima decided to say, "Oh, look, we're looking for the Witch King." And you're like, "Well, crap, he just said that." So now they're like, "Well, we don't like you. We are wonderfully loving," and all these adjectives about the Witch King, and now they're going to try and attack us and screw us over. So bandits and specter cards get mixed together.
Is the bandit's head card though?
Oh, jeez. Bandits will be the top card, because we fight bandits, but we mix the specter skill cards with the bandits. No general and no modifier, so it'll just be straight up cards.
Sure you want me shuffling these?
It absolutely does not matter. There are only 6 cards, and they're all going to be nasty, I'm sure. That's the idea. Okay, so I decided on the transmute spell.
Okay.
That means to space all incoming damage will instead give you that much health. Okay. Are you ready?
I think so.
I hope so. Definitely don't want to die. So, top card. Well, wait, we got our, what we're going to do first. What are we going to do?
I think I want a Rusty Saber. For 3. Then I'm going to throw a Bloodlust at him.
No, I'm going to do lightning. Try to hit him hard first card here. So, bandits. Okay, so it's all foes will lose 4 energy. Any unresolved cards foes have will gain +1. So that's really good. So lose 4 energy. So now I'm doing 4 damage, but giving them 2 energy. So take care of that down to 5.
I'm also doing 4.
So you're doing 4, so now they're down to 1 health. This may be a very quick fight. Okay, what are you going to do?
Lightning.
Good choice. Yeah, I'm going to do Earth. See what happens. Possess. An invisible force collided with my soul like a wave of ice water. My mind began to cloud over as the possession took hold. All foes take turns to draw a number card without reshuffling until one draws a 5. The foe that drew a 5 is possessed. If there's only one foe, they will be possessed. The possessed foe's unresolved cards now target any teammate of their choosing and gain 1 of their value of their effect. If the foe has no teammates, the card will self-inflict. So, draw until we get a 5.
3.
You got a 3. I got a 1.
Don't be 5, don't be 5. It's a 3.
4.
Don't be 5, don't be 5, don't be 5. 2.
And a 5. So
Okay.
I am possessed. So my damage will be going to you. 2 damage.
2, 3, right?
Plus 1, yep,
Yep.
3. So, and your attack does...
3 damage.
Killed him.
Roasted.
Yeah, we finally got our combos there. I have to shuffle that out. That worked out really well. Alright. Alright. At the last cultist dies, you fall to your knees in a blood-soaked sweat. After some time, you regain yourself and start rummaging through the cultist's remains. They are surprisingly barren of supplies of anything of interest. Luckily, you find a parchment tucked inside the beard of one of the cultists. The words on the parchment are written in a language you and your anima are unfamiliar with. You recall overhearing some folks at the Valley Haven talking about AI's magic market, a marketplace of wizards and witches steeped in magic. Your anima suggests that someone there might be able to decipher the parchment. Thankfully, the cultist horses stayed put despite the raging duel that occurred. You mount one and set off for this magic market. Congratulations, you've completed Chapter 1. You may gain 2 levels, return to max health and energy, and then continue on to Chapter 2.